are you doing? Hopefully you can hear me better. How you doing? It's Wednesday, Imala Wednesday, of course. And of course the sun is shining. Doesn't it make it a little bit nicer? I think so, definitely. Also, spring crafts have landed in my house, definitely. I can't stop painting eggs and all sorts. Have you invested today in, of course, the brilliant Imala £5 stamps? Hi Tracy, hope you're doing really well. Oh, you're right, darling. Hope my sound's okay. Can you hear me all right? Just let me know. So I've been on, the two that are on offer today are the beautiful Wave. Now, I do love that Wave. And also Flower Burst. Now, Flower Burst has sold out, I believe. So my main demo today is going to be using the Wave. If you've not seen the Wave, it's an extremely amazing stamp. Thanks, darling. Sounds good. Hi, Jackie. Hope everyone's all right. Absolutely beautiful, this stamp. I love it. It was really inspired by Katsugu Husei. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, an amazing, one of my favourite Japanese artists, actually. He does these beautiful crests of waves. Hi, Roxy. Where you been, girl? I had to ask Tracy about my sound. Honestly, I forgive you. Okay, it's huge, absolutely huge, the stamp. So basically it's A5. So, and what we're going to do is I'm going to do two different demos with the same stamp. You'll notice already I have blue fingers. Yes, I've been inking. It's very exciting. Bit late, Roxy. Oh, he's had his boosters. No worries, darling. I forgive you, of course I do. Hi, Jill. Hope everyone's doing really well today. So, let's get on with this first demo because I'm going to do two different variations. One of them, I'm just going to use the stamp as purely what it is. I'm going to do some decoupage, some layers, a really traditional, beautiful card. But for my first demo, I'm going to do a small 5x7 canvas. I'm going to do lots of inky work. So, let's get started. I think it's time. Okay, so 5x7 canvases. You can either buy canvas board or you can buy canvas flat sort of stamp board if you prefer. It's completely up to you. But I do love a little flat board canvas. They're just brilliant because they're great gifts as well. You can attach them to cards and projects, pop them in frames. But these are, oh, they're so lush. Guess what else, friends? Do you know what I spy? On the horizon, I spy a new chapter. I do. Get excited, my friends, because there will be a new chapter coming to Imala very soon. Also, I've had a few emails basically about old stamps that we've had that have now been either discontinued or we don't have in stock. So myself and Tony, we popped our heads together because the whole thing about Imala really was once they're gone, they're gone. But there has always been key favourites that I know you love them as much as I do, and we just can't let them go, can we? Hi, Tracy. So the ones that I have suggested that we restock are the Vintage Butterfly, the Tree Book. What else did I put down? The Tree Book Gorgeous. That's another one that sold out. Remember the girl with the hair with the dress? And a couple of others. So keep your eyes peeled on the website. As soon as the stock's back in, I will let you know. Hi, Helen. Hi, Diane. Shall we get crafting, my friends? Imala's your favourite. It's mine too. I know. It's just, honestly, everything that I could have possibly encapsulate into crafting is Imala, and I think that's because the images are so different. It's the size. You can really cross-pollinate into mixed media, or you can do home decor. It doesn't just have to be cards. It's edgy, it's different, it's fresh, and that's what's really excites me. And also I love the fact that each stamp, you don't have to use it as a complete stamp either. Snip it down, break it down, use it as backgrounds. Absolutely brilliant. So today, hi everyone who's just joined. I've got 20 of you watching me now. Excuse the hair. I don't know what's happened today. It's just happened. So we're going to be using the waves. So I hope you got yours already. I did just come online quickly just before I come on to here. Had a little check. I think there was a couple left. But the flower burst has completely sold out. Hello, Carol. Hiya, Karen. Oh, look at me. I'm such a lucky girl with all my friends here. Right, so let me turn you around and you can see exactly. You like the hair. Oh, I don't know. I need to do my roots. It's not pretty, is it? But we'll see. We'll see. It's okay. It's all right today. Well, sort of. It was just one of them. Just do it. And then it's done. Right, okay. Let's have a look then and start stamping. So I'm going to turn you around now so you can see my canvas. So I've just got a 5x7 canvas. I'm just going to tighten this up because it does like to decide sometimes to just move around a little bit. And I don't want anyone moving away. I want you to see exactly what I'm up to. So 5x7 canvas. I'm going to go for 2 colours. To start with, I'm going to go for Salty Ocean, Distress Oxide, and of course my key favourite, Peacock Feathers. But I'm also going to be using Cracked Pistachio Oxide Spray and Mermaid Lagoon, hence the blue fingers. So let's get inking. So I'm going to take this beautiful, exquisite stamp, and believe me, look at the size of it, it's huge. And I'm just going to take one side first of all and just pop that slightly offset just there. Hopefully you can see. I'm just going to move my light slightly, so that might help you see a bit better. So now I've just got that on my Eureka, really, really easy. And I'm going to go for the Salty Ocean. I love this ink, but boy, that pigment is strong. So be careful, be aware of that. I'm just going to quickly dab it over that stamp because this is the background. This is not going to be your focal point. So if it doesn't come out perfect, don't worry because we're doing ink work over the top as well. So now you can see it just needs a little bit more pressure there. Perfect. And then I will just wipe that off. Now, oxide is just phenomenal. One, because you can add water to it, you can get different techniques, different spots and things in it. But also, it's a really high pigment ink, which is brilliant. I absolutely love it. So like I said before with this wave, you can use it as it is, or you can obviously use partial piece of it. So I'm just moving it over. Now if you did want to do a mirror stamp, you could very easily stamp it onto your glass mat and then tap your paper in, use your brayer over the top, then of course you get that reverse stamp. So now I'm going into my Peacock, which is that beautiful tealy green. And I'm just going to pull this down right here. Plenty of pressure. There we go. Oh yeah, I'm happy with that. So now I'm just going to wipe this stamp off, get this ink off. Always wipe your stamp straight away because then what that does is it stops any of the ink eating into the design, especially if you're using a solvent. Okay. So now I need to come away from my Eureka and I need my messy mat. You know how much I love my messy mat. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to try and use, I'm going to use these two. So I've got Distress Mermaid Lagoon and Cracked Pistachio. Absolutely fabulous. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spray at the bottom, see? And I'm just going to spray, give it a little at the top. Then on top of that, we're going to add some water. There we go. We'll dry this off. Now, as I'm drying this off as well, I'm also going to add a little bit of Twinkle Spray. Now, if you've not seen Twinkle Spray, I've been using it quite a lot lately. It's one of my favourite things to use. And basically, you can create some beautiful, it's really high in mica, so you can really beautifully get some iridescent effects. So I'm just going to spray a little of that over the top. Then we will simply dry this away. Now remember as well, all of this on your messy mat, do not just wipe it away with a wipe. Put paper into it, pick that colour up, because that can be very useful. I'm just trying to look for a piece of paper. So I'm just drying this off now. And you can see already how you can create exquisite backgrounds. Another variation of using this ink is also you can use a sponge. Get yourself a sea sponge. These are the artist sponge. They create fabulous texture. But then also you could pick up this ink off of here and then very easily just add extra depth to the corners. So you've got lots and lots of options with that. So now I'm just going to again finish off drying because I'm going to do some embossing on the top. So obviously if this isn't dry, it's not going to be perfect. Okay, so now I'm coming back into my Eureka. Just pop my little magnet on there and I'm going to grab my embossing ink and my wave. Now I'm actually going to emboss this with white. So now I'm just going to pull this over like so. Hopefully you can see where I am. Just pick that up. Lovely. I'm using Embossing Stamp Clear, but you can use whatever you prefer. Some of us prefer lots of different makes. It really doesn't matter. I mean, we all stick to our own personal preferences that work for us. So I'm just making sure I've got all that detail now because I really don't want it to be patchy. So I'm just adding plenty of ink on there. And I'm simply going to fingertip dance all over them beautiful layers. There we go, making sure that I've got a really good crisp print. And you never know with embossing, do you? You never know till it's done. So now I'm going to add some white over the top. This. If there are areas that it's picked up on, don't worry, you can simply flick it away. Just use a little paintbrush and you can just take off some of that heavy colour. So now I'm just going to heat set that. There's nothing better than watching embossing, don't you think? It's so lovely. Now, I've had a few questions about embossing. Basically, what you want it to do is you want it to create and fulfill the space that you've stamped on. So, you know, try not to put too much pressure on yourself. You can see when it starts to turn, if it's still a bit grainy or a bit sort of dry bitsy, then it will need extra work. So what I tend to do is I do layers. So I come down this side. It just makes it a little bit easier because then you know where you've been. So then you can just pull up. Lovely. So now I'm going to come back to my inks and I'm going to use a little bit of peacock feather and a tiny bit of salty ocean. I'm also going to take a aperture that I've cut very, very simply from watercolour cardstock, and I'm simply going to do a little bit of inking within this for my sentiments to sit in. So again, I'm picking up that salty ocean, and we are just deepening in that hexagon that we are placing on there. So let's just put a bit more. Beautiful. And you can see I don't want it too much, I just want it enough so I can put a sentiment in there. So now I'm just going to finish off a little bit more inking around, and then I'm just going to grab my sentiment. So now I'm going to add my sentiment, really easy. This is a Stampsbyme, I believe, and I've just popped it onto some decorative paper. That's the outside. Now I'm going to go for stylish, which will go on the inside. I've just gone for white, so I'm just going to tap that into the wet glue, tap off the excess, place it on top, nice and easy. There we go. I could go back in, do a lot more, do some more inking on top or some colouring, but I wanted to show you how simple it is to create something really pretty really quickly. So let's have a look, my friends. How are you doing? Happy birthday, Ange. Didn't know it was your birthday. Hope you're having a lovely day. You're all okay? Did you enjoy that demo? I hope you did. So the demo that I've just done is lots and lots of different types of inking, isn't it? And using also them distress sprays. So, and then my sentiment falls off. That is so unkind, isn't it? Hold on a minute. I'll grab it. The foam fell off the back. There we go. Let's try again. It's because that ink's still a tad damp, I think. Let's try now. There we go. It's one of those days, isn't it? Hi, Kirsty. Yeah, basically my ink needs to dry and then my sentiment will sit perfectly on there. So that is just creating a fab background. Can you believe my sentiment keeps falling off? It's one of them days, I swear. So blue fingers, of course, that means I'm happy. So now we're going to move on and I'm going to do something different. Now I've pre-stamped everything already because I'm going to do maximum amount of layers. So basically what you need to do is you need to stamp out maybe 3 of these gorgeous splash, which I just love. Oh, I love the splash, it's so pretty. So this demo is going to be slightly different. And we're going to do a bit of painting on this, okay? So let's see. Hopefully, because I won't have wet ink, that my sentiment should stay on this time. So I've done maximum amount of layers on this. Problem is, don't touch your face, not when you've got blue fingers. Needs pin flare, Carly. Yeah, but then it's got to sit to dry, hasn't it? Should have used hot glue gun, really. But there we go. Never mind. It'll dry. It'll be fine when I hold it up at the end. It'll be fine. Okay, so now I'm going to do mats and layers. Now, you're probably going to think this is a bit crazy because you know how much I love a matte layer. So, because of that, I've got quite a few. So, I'll turn you around so you can see exactly what I'm up to. Here we go. Rainbow mirror card. So I've got 8x8 card with beautiful Indian ink paper that I'm just going to pop on there, nice and easy. I'm going to use my tape runner if it decides that it would like to work today. There we go. Lovely, lovely. So straight on to my card. That didn't feel right. That means it's the other way. There we go. No. And again, we turn again. There we go. Right, so we have that white with the Indian. Then I've just got some beautiful decorative seaweed background paper. I do believe this is, oh, where is this from? I don't know. Sorry, it's gone. I think it was from the work, somewhere like that. But of course, what you could use is the incredible Imala papers if you have them from Quintessential Essential Collection. So now I'm going back on with that Indian ink blue. Then I've got that rainbow mirror. And why not, eh? Why not indeed? There we go. Then on top of that, I've got grey. I know it's a lot of layers, but honestly, when it's all put together, it just looks incredible. So I've got grey, and then final port, nearly, is a piece of that Indian ink blue. And of course, my last layer of that rainbow mirror card. So now I've pre-stamped already this beautiful wave, and of course, like I said before, you can leave it traditional. You can do so much with this, but what we're going to do is I'm going to start doing a little bit of ink work just on here. So I'm going to pick up a little bit of that blue, and you can see here very smoothly I'm just simply going around the wave, because I almost want like a halo of colour around it, because then what that can do is really, really sort of make it pop. So now I'm going to come down to here, and I'm just simply building up that beautiful blue. Really simple. There we go. I'm also going to come in just with a quick stamp. Now this is from my own stash of some bubbles, and I'm just going to offset this just at the sides. I'm going to come back in as well with some water now, just where we've done that little bit of inking, just to break it down slightly. Beautiful. So now I'm just going to, just a tad of peacock feather, not too much. I know I go a bit wild with this, but I do love this colour so much. So I'm just going to add a little tad around there. So next what we do is I've already cut out my wave and I've painted it. Obviously, really simply, when you are painting the waves, I used Gossip markers on these, but you can use paint as additional on top if you want. That works really well. Also, you could use your like twinkle pens as well. They work beautifully, so you can really add some dimensional layers into this. I'm just adding a little bit of twinkle over there and a little tad across there. I'm also going to use that twinkle to push some of that colour around. So I've just got to make sure that I definitely clean this brush before I finish. Otherwise I may have some problems. Next, what I'm going to do, I do need to colour that actually. So I've got other layers. I've just gone around actually really quite light, like with a grey blue, almost like a soft blue. And I've just sort of highlighted some of the cloud areas. So first of all, I'm just going to dry this off quickly. Then just on this, so this is the inside of the wave, I've coloured it a bit green because if you look at the waves when they come up, they start changing colour, but I will do painting to finish this, tie it all together. But on this wave here, and then also I've cut out another one of the top layer, and we are going to add a little flitter of glitter to this. So I'm just looking for my pen. Here we go, a glue pen. And what you can do is you can put it on quite frothy almost. So if you just follow the lines of the wave that we've already put in, and you're just sort of highlighting areas. So just to continue with that pattern, and you can see you can just go over them layers a little bit on the edge. Lovely. And then again, just really simple, but it just gives it such beautiful dimension. It really does. So if you got yourself any of the beautiful stamps Imala from the Quintessential collection, this is perfect for that. So now I'm just going to grab a bit of excess and I'm going to pop on some gorgeous glamour dust from Deco Art. I don't know why, but it's one of them things that I always go back to. I've tried so many glitters, but I just love it. It's proper fairy dust. That's why I love it. So now I'm just going to pop that to the side, pop the glitter to the side, come back to this piece now, because this is going to go on here. Really nice and simple. I'm going to use some foam pads just to lift it up slightly. Hopefully you can all see where I am. Sorry, the camera's moved. And I'm just going to add some more paint on top of this. So make sure this base layer is really firmly secured. Obviously make sure your ink's not wet, otherwise your foam pads will not stick, as we see in the previous. So now I'm just going to layer this up. Really simple. Next layer, pop that in as well. Now, if you missed when I launched the beautiful gouache paints, I did a actual full demo painting of this using gouache paint, so it's absolutely fabulous to use. It really is. So now I'm just going to pull this up. Now it needs to fit. There we go. So it just gives it more dimension. I'm also just going to add some foam pads to the reverse of this, of that sort of froth, if we like. But there's nothing better, is there? Sitting watching the waves. It won't be long, my friends. We will be allowed again soon. There we go. So now what I'm going to do, very easy, I'm going to come in with my Himi Moist watercolours, and I'm simply going to add some more dimension into this. So where we've got the green coming into the blue, what I'm going to do is make a lovely teal up here. So we just bring, that's a bit, there we go, that's better. And we're just going to exaggerate some of that colour at the bottom. Now it's quite a dry brush I've got here, but that's for a reason, because then you get the brush marks. If it's a really wet brush, you don't tend to get the dragging of the actual fibres of your brush. So it's quite a nice idea if you can just paint it as dry as you can, really. So now I'm coming into that centre. And also this part of the wave, what I did is I ripped it to create really nice textures. I'm also just going to pull a little bit green up here. So I'm not adding any other colours. I'm simply working with that teal, and we're just building up this beautiful card. So even if I say so myself, oh I know, Carly. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull some paint from the edges and just pull that in. So like the colouring that we did before with the distress inks, we're framing it with the watercolour. But again, use them brush as dry as you can so you get lots and lots of brush strokes. So now I'm just going to really water that bit down, because this I just need as a cover. I don't really need it as depth. There we go. So also what I'm going to add is some beautiful, gorgeous embellishment pearls as well. So now I'm just going to pop that onto my card of, I know, my 100 million layers that I created for to begin with, but it works. Honestly, it really does. It lifts it up enough to be able to do that. So now I'm just adding some foam pads to the reverse, so that will lift that slightly as well. Add that on to my project, and then I'm going to come over with a few of these beautiful pearls. Now they could be bubbles, they could be whatever you want them to be, but just sporadically. Try not to put them in lines. Try to just be able to be a little free with that. And then the sentiment I've chosen is amazing. Another one of the beautiful stamps dies that are available at Stampsbyme. Also, Thirsty Brush, who does amazing sentiments if you're looking. So I'm going to tap that amazing that I've already cut in decorative stripy paper. And I'm just going to tap off the excess. Place that sentiment on. There we go. Perfect. Then I will simply, she says, honestly, I had loads of foam pads here earlier. Can't find them now. Nope. I've got one. Here we go. So the amazing, and what I'm going to do is pull the amazing across. I'm almost going to tuck it under and then pull that across like so. So you can see all that beautiful twinkling. Hey friends, how are we doing? Sorry, I was in the zone, weren't I? So of course, here is your dimensional wave. Of course, I've used mirror card, I've used beautiful layers, stamping. Of course, I've used that beautiful twinkle pens on there as well. So much. So the two different variations that I've done today. That still doesn't want to stick. That is not being kind to me on that sentiment today. So we have the white embossed with that beautiful background that we created. Really, really simple. Then of course we have the creme de la creme with the wave. And don't forget the glitter and all of that beautiful iridescent effect that you can get. Thank you so much for joining me today, my friends. I hope you're having a wonderful Wednesday. I'm probably going to go and tidy up now and try and get my fingers less blue. Join me next Wednesday, 1 p.m, for Imala Inspiration, and of course, then brilliant £5 stamps that will be available. It jumps off the page. Thank you, and that's really, really lovely. Thank you, Jackie. So, honestly, you make my day. You really do. If you would like to win this card, please just pop a comment in the comments, and you will be up for winning it. Take care of yourself and each other, my friends, and I will see you next Wednesday here with Imala. Take care.